What's up, superfans? It is Fit Nerd from Superheroes Ultimate. Welcome to another episode of Heroes Finest, where we discuss, review, and reveal all the latest and the greatest in the superhero realm. And today we're going to be discussing episode 4. Man, is there a lot to unpack, including some origin story to Sylvie. As always, if you have not seen the latest episode of Loki, then pause, like, and subscribe, and turn on the notifications. Come back to this video when you have seen the episode. Also, a quick reminder that we now have awesome official merch, which includes t-shirts, tank tops, mugs, totes, stickers, face masks, and so much more. So if you want to check out some of our latest official merch, take a look right below the video. This is your warning, there are spoilers ahead. This episode takes off with the origin of our Lady Loki, and it's kind of weird because it is actually a version of Loki. It wasn't 100% to me in the last few episodes because this is Sylvie, and it looks like they're meshing up a little bit of the Enchantress and Loki into one character as a Lady Loki. As we saw in the beginning of this episode, we see a young girl with long black hair in Asgard being taken away by the TVA. I mean, what in the hell did a poor child do that the TVA is literally willing to kill a child? Now, as we've seen in previous episodes, the TVA has been after a bunch of Loki variants because they are deciding to be good, and it isn't according to their role in the timeline or the sacred timeline. According to the TVA, Lokis are not meant to be good. And when we look back at the scene where young Lady Loki is playing with this Dungeons and Dragons figures and says this one thing:
that Valkyrie flies over, defeats the dragon, and saves Asgard.
It could mean that this Lady Loki actually wanted to grow up to be among one of the Valkyrie. And of course, being a Valkyrie means that you are a hero, and Lokis are meant to be a villain. And she managed to actually steal one of the temp pads from Renslayer to escape off into a different time. As we know, Asgardians age much differently than humans do by a long ass time. Thor is around 1500 years old, as we discovered in Endgame. So if young Loki was taken as a child, she has been out there for centuries evading the TVA.
We're born, we live, we die, just as humans do.
Give or take 5,000 years.
And it seems like there's almost like a relationship type of situation going on between Mobius and Renslayer, and put our poor Mobius in the friend zone.
Friendship like ours is not common.
Wow.
At the moment that Loki and Lady Loki, Sylvie, were about to die, and yes, Loki is pretty much in love with Loki. He was literally ready to die at this very moment in time because he finally found someone that understands him. It just so happens to be another version of, well, him. But then of course we get Mobius and B-15 finally finding out where they are because they caused a majorly new branch. They managed to break time in a way that they've never seen before. Two variants from different parts of the multiverse actually fall in love with, well, kind of themselves.
Wow. Right? Yeah, great. Amazing.
And it seems that B-15 and Mobius are just too good at their jobs. So good that they ended up seeing all of the little tiny cracks in the TVA and seeing that there could possibly be some truth to what Sylvie, Lady Loki, and our Loki are both stating, which is that the TVA has been lying to them. And ever since Sylvie got into the mind of B-15, B-15 has been feeling weird because she did see those things in her mind. And damn, I feel bad for Loki. I mean, that is definitely torturous. Getting kneed in the balls repeatedly on a time loop. But even worse than getting kicked in the balls is when Lady Sif doesn't actually kick him or hit him, but hits him in the field.
Alone, and you always will be.
Ouch! There was a neat line that Mobius said that we have captured Kree, Titans, and vampires. As always in the MCU, there's always these little tiny nods as to something that's going to happen on a grander scale. And the Kree could be about the introduction of new Marvels. The Titans could be talking about the Great Titan, which is Thanos, the Mad Titan, and vampires, which we're gonna see a vampire come into the MCU with Morbius. And another nod is when we get a zoom into the poster on the wall that says right before B-15 goes in and talks to Sylvie. And it really looks like this guy with this weird little tiny mustache looks like the Mobius from the comic. So could it actually be just a bunch of Mobius that is behind all of this? Or could it be actually Kang, the Conqueror, behind all of this, pulling all the strings? Loki actually having a real friend for once. Yes, he has connections to Thor, but he was raised as his brother. And there's a different type of care there. Mobius technically is the one and only actual friend that he has actually had.
You were right from the beginning. You can be whoever, whatever you want to be, even someone good.
And then they go off and kill Mobius. As we finally see the timekeepers, the big reveal of the real timekeepers as they look like in the comics, by the way, and it turns out that they're actually androids. So we still don't know who is actually behind the TVA. So let's talk about Renslayer. This mofo not only didn't tell the Lady Loki the reasoning of why she was deleted and her whole reality was deleted, goes on and kills the only friend Loki has ever had, but the scene when Sylvie goes and slices the head off of one of the androids, she did not look surprised one bit. And the one tiny Easter egg that pretty much gave it away that Kang is definitely involved with this somehow is that A23, Hunter A23, which is Renslayer's number as one of the Minutemen, is Avengers number 23, which was the first appearance of Renslayer, and in this issue, she is in cahoots with, guess who? Kang the Conqueror. So it could be like in the comics, where Renslayer actually has a relationship with Kang the Conqueror, and she wasn't all about the deals at the beginning. It took her a very long time to actually be persuaded by Kang the Conqueror in the comics. So this may actually be more proof that Kang the Conqueror is definitely behind all of this. I don't know about you, but I definitely crapped my pants when I saw the moment that Loki was about to confess his love for, himself, another Loki, and Renslayer goes and kills his ass. Now leaving fans with a bunch of grief and holy crap, they actually just destroyed and killed, they deleted Loki from existence. We find out that pruning isn't exactly complete deletion and just placing them in somewhere else, like in placing them in some type of time purgatory somewhere else, because we see Loki and we get to see what I said in the last episode. We're gonna see a bunch of Lokis where we get old Loki in his original comic book accurate costume, we get Black Thor Loki, and we get Kid Loki, which looks to be holding an alligator Loki. Yeah, things are getting real bonkers in this episode, and as I stated in the last review, that episode 4 was going to leave us with a major cliffhanger, just showing us that there's going to be a bunch of Lokis going up against the TVA. Of all the people that Loki can fall in love with, the only one that actually understands him is, well, another version of himself. Episode 5 by far is definitely going to be the biggest episode of them all, and hopefully we will finally get the reveal of who is pulling all of the strings in the TVA. If you liked what you saw here today, don't forget to smash the subscribe button, give us a like, turn on the notifications, and if you want to show some support for the channel, we've got our new official merch right below in this video, and the link to our shop where you can get official collectibles and apparel. Until next, super fans, this is Fit Nerd, over and out.